Hi, my name is Shinko. Welcome to my channel. We have been attempting to escape from reality with The Warriors, Fire and Ice, which is the second book in the series by Erin Hunter. I want to apologize about this last week. Not really getting any videos out to you guys. And literally at this point, the only reason I'm posting, I've made a commitment, but the main thing is, I'll just call you H. You know, you're my regular, my follower, the one that usually comments on my videos. I had a major life event happen, and I've gone spiraling, essentially. Which is no excuse. I've totally had the time to do this. I just didn't. So, I do want to apologize for that. The worst of it is over, hopefully. So either way, we were in the middle of chapter 3. And, they just got back from the gathering. And they're essentially giving the news, Blue Star's giving the news to the clan, of Night Pelt and Crooked Star, essentially making an alliance, kind of. So, we'll continue. Blue Star looked thoughtful. For now, we must be careful to do nothing that may bring Shadow Clan and River Clan closer together. Go and rest now. Rennywind and Dustpaw, you will take the dawn patrol. A cold breeze rattled the dying leaves in the trees over the head. The cats, still murmuring amongst themselves, went to their dens. For the second night in a row, Fireheart dreamed. He was standing in the dark. The roar and the stench of a thunder path was very close by. Fireheart felt himself buffeted and blinded by the monsters that roared up and down with glaring bright eyes. Suddenly, through the din, Fireheart heard the pitiful cry of a young cat. The desperate wail sliced through the thundering of the monsters. Fireheart awoke with a start. For a moment, he thought that the cry had woken him, but the only noise was the muffled snores of warriors sleeping beside him. A growl came from somewhere near the middle of the den. It sounded like Tiger Claw. Fireheart felt too unsettled to go back to sleep, so he crept silently out of the den. It was dark outside. The stars dotting the black sky told him dawn was still far off. With the wail of the young cat echoing in his mind, Fireheart padded over to the nursery. His ears pricked. He could hear paw steps beyond the camp wall. He sniffed the air. It was just Darkstripe and Longtail. Fireheart picked up their scents as they guarded ThunderClan territory. The calm of the sleeping camp soothed Fireheart. Every cat must have nightmares about the Thunder Path, he told himself. He crept back into the den and circled comfortably back into his nest. Graystripe purred briefly in his sleep as Fireheart settled beside him and closed his eyes. Graystripe's nose woke him, prodding aside. "Leave me alone," Fireheart grumbled. "Wake up!" Graystripe hissed. "Why? We're not on patrol," Fireheart complained. "Blue Star wants to see us in the den. Now!" Fuzzy-headed, Fireheart scrambled to his paws and followed Graystripe out of the den. The sun was beginning to turn the sky pink, and there was frost on the trees around the camp. The two cats bounded across the clearing to Blue Star's den and announced their arrival with hushed mews. "Enter!" It was Tiger Claw's voice that answered from beyond the draped lichen. Alarm swept through Fireheart as he remembered his conversation with Blue Star on the way to the gathering. Had she told Tiger Claw about his accusations? Graystripe pushed his way into Bluestar's den. Fireheart followed him uneasily. Bluestar was sitting in her nest, her head up and her eyes bright. Tigerclaw stood in the middle of the smooth sandstone floor, and Fireheart tried to read his expression, but the great tabby's eyes were as cold and steady, as always. Bluestar began at once. Fireheart, Graystripe, I have an important mission for you. A mission? Fireheart echoed. Relief and excitement swept away his anxiety. I want you to find WindClan and bring them back to their territory, announced Bluestar. Before you get too excited, bear in mind this could be very dangerous, Tigerclaw growled. We don't know where WindClan has gone, so you'll have to follow what is left of their scent, probably into hostile territory. But you've been through WindClan territory when you traveled with me to the Moonstone, Bluestar pointed out. Their scent will be familiar, as will the two-lake territory beyond the uplands. Will it just be us? Asked Fireheart. Our other warriors are needed here, meowed Tigerclaw. Leaf Bear is coming, and we need to gather as much fresh kill as possible. Many prey poor moons lie ahead. Bluestar nodded. Tigerclaw will help you prepare for the journey. Fireheart's paws prickled with unease. Bluestar had as much faith in her deputy as ever. Why was Fireheart the only cat in ThunderClan who didn't trust Tigerclaw? You must leave as soon as possible, Bluestar continued. Good luck. We'll find them, Graystripe promised. Dragging his thoughts back to the journey ahead, Fireheart nodded. Tigerclaw followed them out of Bluestar's den. Do you remember how to get to WindClan territory? Oh yes, Tigerclaw. We were there only... Fireheart interrupted Graystripe's eager reply. Only a few moons ago. He meowed quickly. He flashed a warning glare at his friend. Graystripe had almost given away their journey several nights earlier with Ravenpaw. Tigerclaw hesitated. Fireheart held his breath. Had he noticed Graystripe's mistake? And can you recall WindClan's scent? The deputy meowed. Fireheart sent silent thanks to StarClan. The young warriors nodded, and Fireheart began to picture himself charging through the prickly gorse of the uplands in search of the lost clan. You will need herbs for strength and to keep your hunger away. Fetch them from Yellowfang before you leave. Tigerclaw paused. And don't forget that Nightpout is planning to travel the Moonstone tonight. Keep well out of his way. Yes, Tigerclaw, replied Fireheart. They'll never know we're out here, Graystripe assured him. As I would expect, meowed Tigerclaw. Now go. And without another word, he turned, bounded away. He might have wished us good luck, Graystripe complained. Probably thinks we don't need it, joked Fireheart as they crossed the clearing towards Yellowfang's den. But at the same time, he reflected. Tigerclaw seemed to be treating them with as much respect as he would any other warrior. Was it possible that he wasn't the traitor that Ravenpaw thought? It was still cold, despite the rising sun, but neither cat shivered. Fireheart could feel his fur beginning to thicken as the days grew shorter. Yellowfang's den lay ahead at the end of the tunnel under ferns, and a large split rock stood in a corner of a small, shaded glade. Spotted Leaf had lived here before Yellowfang. The memory of the gentle tortoiseshell medicine cat tugged at Fireheart's heart. Spotted Leaf had been killed by a ShadowClan warrior, and he missed her desperately. Yellowfang, Graystripe called. We've come for traveling herbs. The two cats heard a horse mew from the shadow in the center of the rock. and Yellowfang squeezed out of the crack. "Where are you going?" she asked. "We've got to find WindClan and bring them home," Fireheart told her, unable to hide the pride in his voice. "Your first warrior mission," rasped Yellowfang. "Congratulations! I'll fetch the herbs you'll need." She returned a few moments later carrying a small bundle of dried leaves in her mouth. "Enjoy," she purred, laying them on the ground. Fireheart and Graystripe chewed obediently on the unappetizing leaves. "Yuck!" spat Graystripe. "Just as bad as last time." Fireheart nodded, screwing up his face. Spiderleaf had given them the same herbs when they journeyed with Bluestar to the Moonstone. Graystripe swallowed the last mouthful and nudged Fireheart's shoulder with his nose. "Come on, Slow Slug, let's get going." "Bye," he called to Yellowfang over his shoulder as he sprinted out of the glade. "Wait for me," Fireheart chased after his friend. "Goodbye. Good luck, youngsters," Yellowfang meowed after them. And as he raced through the tunnel, Fireheart heard the ferns rustling in the morning breeze. They seemed to be whispering, "Good luck. Travel safely." Chapter 4. As they headed out of the camp, the two young warriors nearly crashed into Whitestorm, who was leading Sandpaw and Runningwind into the forest for the dawn patrol. "Sorry," panted Fireheart. He stopped, and Graystripe skidded to a halt beside him. Whitestorm dipped his head. "I hear you two were going on a mission," he meowed. "Yes," Fireheart replied. "Then you may have StarClan's protection," meowed Whitestorm gravely. "What for?" Sandpaw sneered. "You off to catch rolls?" Runningwind, Elaine Tabby, turned and whispered something into Sandpaw's ear. Her expression changed, and the contempt in her green eyes switched to guarded curiosity. The patrol stepped aside to let Fireheart and Graystripe pass. The pair raced on and scrambled up the side of the ravine. Fireheart and Graystripe shared few words as they followed the route through the forest to Four Trees, saving their breath for the long journey ahead. They paused at the top of the steep slope on the far side of the oak-shaded clearing, their sides heaving from the climb. "Is it always this windy up here?" grumbled Graystripe, fluffing out his thick fur against the blast of cold air that swept across the uplands. "I suppose there aren't any trees to block it," Fireheart pointed out, screwing up his eyes. This was WindClan's territory, and as Fireheart sniffed the air, he detected a scent that all of his senses told him should not be there. "Do you smell RiverClan warriors?" he murmured uneasily. Graystripe lifted his nose. "No. Do you think there might be some here?" "Maybe. They might want to make the most of WindClan's absence, especially since they know WindClan will be back soon," Fireheart warned. "Well, I can't smell anything now," whispered Graystripe. The two friends padded watchfully along a frozen turf trail sheltered by heather. A fresh scent stopped Fireheart in his tracks. "Can you smell that?" he hissed to Graystripe. "Yes," whispered Graystripe, flattening himself against the ground. "RiverClan!" Fireheart dropped into a crouch, keeping his ears below the heather. Beside him, Graystripe lifted his dark gray head to peer over the bushes. "I could see them," he murmured. "They're hunting." Fireheart stretched up cautiously to look. 4 RiverClan warriors were chasing a rabbit through a patch of gorse. Fireheart recognized Blackclaw from the gathering. The smoky black warrior pounced, his claws unsheathed, but sat up with nothing to show for the chase. The rabbit must have made it to the safety of her warren. Fireheart and Graystripe dropped down again and pressed their bodies against the cold turf. "They're not good rabbit hunters," Graystripe hissed scornfully. "I guess RiverClan is more used to catching fish," Fireheart whispered back. His nose twitched as he smelled the scent of a terrified rabbit coming nearer. With the pang of dread, Fireheart heard the paw steps of the RiverClan warriors fast approaching after it. "They're coming this way! We have to hide!" And I'll end it there. So, again, I really do apologize. I really wish I could talk about it. Well, as it stands, again, I'm sorry. I'll be trying my best to be reading more, because I really do like the series. I really enjoy it, and well, I'll leave this with you. Do you think they'll find WindClan? Do you think Fireheart's dream meant anything at all? And if his dream did mean something, okay, then that brings the question of previous dreams he's had. Did they mean something? Well, we do know for a fact that the dream he had about the battle with ShadowClan and Lionheart's death happened. Now, he didn't know the specific detail that Lionheart was going to die, but he heard the wailing of Greystripe, who was Greypaw back then, but Greystripe. So, in the end, the main event in his dream still happened. So, do you think they're going to find WindClan? And if they do you think WindClan will even be welcome when they come back? I mean, sure, the force, the thing that drove out WindClan, which was, oh gosh, the previous leader of ShadowClan. Yeah, ShadowClan is currently under a new leadership, which is Night Pelt right now. But, do you think WindClan will be welcome when they come back? So, I'll leave it at that. I hope you're having a really good day. Better than mine, at least. Have a good day. Be safe.